Welcome to Wanna Bet, the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously like not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now. So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Subject som kräver konsolbäppa konsolferino. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben.
Hey there. Welcome to a very special, damn near midnight edition of Wanna Bet. I am Jason, a little under the weather. That is Ben. I got everything set up on the Twitter. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Ben's got a lot going on tomorrow morning. We wanted to make sure we got you guys all of our Saturday plays in plenty of time for our soccer and NCAA football that's kicking off early in the day at perfect timing. Another crazy World Series game ends, and we are ready to go. If you're new to this, just stumbled into this, we do this every day. We're up almost 100 units documented as a show since we launched our first episode May 21st. We cover all sports. We try to give you the best bets we possibly can for the best value we possibly can and learn to educate ourselves, check each other, self-scout, get better as a betting community, get smarter, avoid some pitfalls. We're totally transparent. First, second, third down are three favorite plays of the moment. Fourth down's a bit of a catch-all. Fourth and long could be a long-term bet, a long shot bet. A lot of times it's fourth and short, a bet to get you paid quickly in a game. Overtime football season, a football or football parlay every single day. Now's normally where we put a betting ticket up, show you what we did last night, show you what we've done for the year. We will have that all updated tomorrow. There's still games going on, a lot of things in flux. I've had a long day. Ben's had a long day. He hasn't had a chance to build the graphic. When we catch up with you guys Sunday, we'll update everything through the weekend. I can just tell you, I had a bad night in the NBA Cup, but UNC, money line, cashed easy. They destroyed Syracuse. Like I thought, Ohtani did not get a steal, put a half unit on that. A bit of a luxury play. Ben, any thoughts on your Friday night?
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now. As we're live, we have a few plays still riding out. Hopefully they can cash. But we did have Jalen Johnson for a double-double. We had him over his PRAs. Both of those cashed. We lost the UNC Rice parlay. Rice threw for 100 yards. I was planning to really rip them on this show, but decided to just calm down a little bit and let it go. It was a hard watch. They're down 30 points, running their option, not opening the offense enough. And then late in the game, like you would think you want to get your guys some work, but instead I don't even know what to call it. So frustrating loss there, but we had a lot of success in the NBA tonight. And we also had Book. Listen to this. Devin Booker has 2+ assists, or I have 3+. He has 2 assists, subs out with 2 minutes left. I put my head down, shaking my head, because he had like 10 potential assists in the first quarter. Goes out of the game. I put my head down. I'm getting stuff ready. To which he subs back in with 40 seconds left, kicks it out to the corner for a 3, and they drill it. So he subs back in the final 40 seconds to get us a nice cash, which I thought we had no shot because
You're living down. Right, Beltway, Ben.
Yes. He put the towel over the head. I was like, oh, he's getting, he's
yeah, that's it.
5 minutes. But they sub him right back in with 45 seconds, and he got us there.
Wow. Excellent. Well, we will get everything caught up. Obviously, there are no there's not a lot out in MLB right now. We haven't had a time to digest any of that. I don't think I'm going to be on much tomorrow. I may put a play on Twitter. If I do decide to do something, remember, I'm sitting on the plus, and I hope you are too, the plus 425 Dodgers to win the World Series over Blue Jays ticket. So I'm hoping that comes through. You think you'll be getting on Game 7?
Maybe in a prop. I don't know. It's like guys like Freddie Freeman not showing up, like he's due and it's a big spot. Will Smith finally came through tonight. How about the finish? I mean, that was
crazy. Was Mookie, man. How about Mookie? Yeah, I thought they should have dropped him further than the 4 hole.
Yeah.
He had the biggest hit. Yeah, Dean could have got to that ball. It was smart of him to let it go. I'm guessing Ohtani's going to start this thing. He's going to go. I think they're going to try to get 9 to 12 outs out of him. It should be wild. Yeah, I'll look into it. I'm not sure I'm going to do much. I'm going to have a lot of money on the table already tomorrow, so I don't have a great feeling about it. Like, Should I bet Ernie Clement over 1.5 total bases? Like I probably should, but I haven't done it yet. You know what I mean? Am I going to do it in Game 7? I don't know. It's the final baseball game of the year. I'll probably do something.
Exactly.
And again, if I feel strongly about it, I'll put it on Twitter. But I don't have it for now. It doesn't sound like Ben does either. All right, then I guess we should jump in. It's going to be a soccer-heavy show for me. I love this EPL card this week more than I have most, to be honest with you. And I'm dialing it back in college football a little bit, and I haven't had enough time to really jump into the NBA, to any great degree. I will just tell you, it's not an official play, I guess, for this or whatever. But I probably will be on the Bucks again tomorrow night. Bucks money line. I'm sorry, Bucks laying the points within reason. All right, let's start here with Newcastle. I'm going to lay the goal at West Ham. If you guys watch this show regularly, we've been attacking West Ham in the first half of matches. They've conceded first in 7 of their 9. They're a terrible first half team, and I thought about going at them that way again. Ultimately, I just decided I'm willing to lay the 1, risk the push, but at 2-1 plus 202 with bet 365, that's where I played it. In the Asian handicap, that's my favorite way to approach it. I also don't mind Newcastle to win to 0, but I like the 2-1 payoff here. Look, the Hammers have no home field advantage at this stadium. They just don't. The new grounds do nothing for them. It's sterile. It's stale. They've lost 4 or 5 overall. We saw last week they had the Monday, Friday set up. They're not getting results at home the way you would like. And Newcastle's one of the best defenses in the Premiership. I mean, it's not quite Arsenal, but it's pretty airtight, right? Only 3 goals conceded in 9 Premiership games. They don't travel that well. So that gives me a little bit of pause here. And again, look, we are risking the push if they win by a goal. But Espirito Santo hasn't brought much to the table for West Ham. They're not super organized in the back, and they're still having trouble scoring goals with any regularity, and they keep falling behind. And they're not electric up front enough to fight back from falling behind. And I think that atmosphere in that stadium could get pretty caustic pretty early if they concede first again. And they seem to be unable not to. So, yeah, push potential. But let's lay the 1 with Newcastle. And look into that game yourself. You might want to go Newcastle to win to 0. Maybe you want to take Newcastle first half money line. Maybe even Newcastle half full. But I'm on the -1. What about you, Ben?
Yeah, we're going to go to the Navy North Texas game, which I like in a few different ways. And we're going to play the parlay that we've been doing. Now, we lost one tonight. We got burned, as I said earlier, by 10 passing yards. But I am pretty confident in this one. North Texas, 400 plus total yards, and then Navy, 225 plus rushing yards, and this gets us to -134. Navy has gone over this in all but one game. North Texas is weak against the run, and even good run defenses in college struggle to stop Navy because of the way they do things, and it's different, and you always have that explosive play where a guy guesses middle, and they run the end around, and it beats them. It happens a lot. We've seen it, and they have so many different good runners, whether it be a quarterback in Horvath, whether it be Texa, whether it be any of the other running backs they have, the wide receivers that run the football. So it's a Navy style offense. They always do it, and it always has success, especially in this matchup where I think they're going to have to run the football to do what they can to keep it out of North Texas's hands. I still think North Texas, when they get the ball, is going to move it quick. Navy is not very good defensively. That's not their strong suit. The run game is, their offense is, but North Texas passing attack is coming off of a 608-yard showing where Mestamaker threw for 600 yards. I mean, and I get it. It was against Charlotte, but that is a conference game. And Navy's passing defense isn't very good. To me, he's going to throw for 300 plus, and they should have enough success on the ground to get us to that 400 mark. And again, as I said, Navy 225 plus rushing, North Texas 400 plus total. That gets us to -134.
Excellent. Second down. We are back on Arsenal. Not quite like last week, but a similar approach. So we got Arsenal at Burnley. Burnley, look, I think they punched above their weight class. They've been a more respectable side than I thought they might. We'll see if they end up in a relegation battle or if they're lower mid-table. But we do know is Arsenal's had 6 straight clean sheets. Maybe they get 7, maybe they don't. I mean, just pure regression, dumb luck, a goal off a set piece, a corner or long throw. They're maybe due to give one up. So I decided not to play them to win to nil again. But I could see it being 2-0. I could see it being 3-0. I don't think Arsenal are going to hang 4. And maybe they give up 1, maybe they don't. I certainly don't think they're giving up more than 1, owning one of the best back lines, and especially for my money, the best center back pairing in the Prem and maybe in the world. So we're going to play this Arsenal to win the match, where they have been getting results. They've been traveling okay. And under 4 total goals. It's going to get you minus 110. Not super sexy. I'm usually trying to get you any kind of parlay that's going to get you plus money. But we're looking at a Gunner side that 8 of their 9 Premiership matches have been under 4 goals. You don't see a lot of Burnley matches at home going over. Burnley's going to try to keep this 0-0 for as long as they can. This is not a side that's going to hit you boom, boom on the counter like Bournemouth or something like that, of the other like non-posh Premiership sides. That's just not their style. And again, I don't think Arsenal's hanging 3 or 4 on the road. So Gunners to win under 4 total goals, minus 110. Beltway Ben.
Yes, here we're going to go with the Miami Hurricanes minus 9.5 at SMU. It's a road game, noon kickoff. I get that you don't love taking teams, especially with this big of a spread on the road. I don't care. We're seeing Miami come off of a 42-7 win against Stanford, who should be considered an FCS opponent to this point in the season. They just haven't been very good. Reich has not been great. Andrew Luck's doing what he can as the GM, but they just don't really have the resources, it feels like right now. And they don't have the guys. Tough school to get into and all of that. Miami comes off a loss to Louisville. 3-point loss. They had a million chances to win that game and just fumbled it away. Carson Beck did not play like the fifth-year guy that he is. He struggled. They don't end up winning. But as I said, they bounced back with a 35-point win. SMU had a little bit of hype coming into the season because they were the college football playoff team. They went to Penn State and got beat pretty bad, but they ended up still making the playoff. And I get it. There's supposed to be hype when you bring back Jennings, when you still have a good coach. But every year with him, you have the crickets the past 2 years. Could he leave? Is that possible? And they're talking about it again because of everything going on around college football. This is the most coaches we've seen fired at these big of schools this early in the year. That's swirling again. Miami is probably a top 5 team. I know right now they're ranked 10th in the country. They're a lot better than that ranking. Cristobal, he's a fraud. He loses some games sometimes. This is not a spot for me. I just don't buy SMU. Their offense isn't popping like it was last year. The defense is not nearly as good. We've seen them really give up a little bit. And last week they lost to Wake Forest. Like that's inexcusable. Upsets are going to happen, but a loss to Wake Forest, I can't buy anything they have. So I do think Miami, the 10th team in the country, goes to SMU and wins this one by 10 plus points. And I'm buying it to 10. You can get it at 10.5 in a lot of places, but found a book that we can get at minus 128 for 9.5.
I know that's more of a fate of SMU than it is a backing of Miami, because I know your feelings about the Hurricanes. I bet the Hurricanes one time this year, and that's the game that Beck threw like the 5 picks against Louisville. So shame on me. Third down, we are staying in the Prem. The Citizens hosting my and therefore our Bournemouth Cherries. We've been on Bournemouth one way or another, going back to the opening match of the season, where we thought there would be goals and chaos when they faced Liverpool. And there was, and there has continued to be a lot of fun goals and chaos whenever our Cherries play. A lot I like about this. We've been telling you all year long, the Cherries do not sit back and try to stay in games on the road. They attack on the road. That's one of the things I love about them. And even when they have to face Champions League level sides in the course of the Premiership, they attack. So we're looking at the Cherries on the road, right? And we're seeing score lines like 3-3, 2-2, 2-2, 1-0, 4-2. Okay, goals. Like 16 goals scored, 11 conceded. All right, I can get down with that. My kind of jam. We know the Citizens at the Etihad, they're not traveling so well, and Man City's been inconsistent. And I still have some reservations about them, but they've scored 10 times in their last 3 home Premiership matches. Still a little shaky in the back, not airtight. They obviously have the De Bruyne injury they've got to sort through. I'm not sure that that's not going to be the worst thing in the world, and getting some younger legs in the midfield could help them. But I think both teams have goals here. So here's how we're playing it. We're going to play BTTS. That's both teams to score. And again, that's been happening in basically almost every Bournemouth match, whether it's home or road. And over 2.5 total goals. That'll get us to minus 105. I've also played this, and I like this play. City and Bournemouth, BTTS, over 2.5 goals, and our guy Holland to get back in form and score this weekend. Didn't score in the last Premiership match. I don't see him going 2 in a row without scoring. I think he's going to be a bit of a problem for that Cherries back line, his ability to elevate, score with his head, set pieces. He's just a handful, and he's in tremendous form, and he's at home. And I think they're going to need goals, because it wouldn't shock me if they concede twice. And look, if you're asking me, Jason, you've been on the Cherries a lot this year. Are you on the Cherries on the double chance? I am. I am on the Cherries double chance. If you made me pick a scoreline in this one, I would say 2-2. But our official plays, again, Man City, Bournemouth, BTTS over 2.5 goals. And then that same parlay with the Holland anytime goal will get you plus 175. Third down, Ben.
Yeah, we go to this spot, and I didn't love doing it, but I just have to here. San Jose State on the money line at home against Hawaii. Now, Jason, I know you faded Hawaii a few times earlier in the year because neither of us really, I mean, we would talk about it off the air, and neither of us were really buying what they had, and it was a weird situation. Well, they're sitting at 6-2. Now, I don't like to, it's hard to push on a team that's 6-2. They've had a lot of things go in their favor, though, and it's a lot of tight wins, and they're due for one of those tight losses. San Jose State, on the other hand, 5-point loss to Utah State, 7-point loss to Wyoming, both of those on the road. They beat a good New Mexico team at San Jose State. They lose by 1 to Stanford. And then we also had the Central Michigan loss where the kicker misses 2 field goals and they sent him out for the other one. That's just a lot of stuff there. But they've lost a lot of tight games, and most of those being on the road. Now you return home against a Hawaii team that is overachieved and is not as good as their record says. I don't care what anybody says. I do not buy what their record is. They have a good quarterback. He plays well. He's exciting. But San Jose State's team should be able to settle in. We saw them offensively really take off. Hawaii's defense is not good. They really struggle against the run. San Jose State has a good two-headed attack. They make things work. The quarterback is playing good football. And Ken has won a lot of big games through his coaching career. And sitting at 2-5, he knows how important this week is for them. A 6-2 red-hot Hawaii team coming in. If San Jose State can win this week, then you look forward. You have Air Force, who that's a winnable game. Nevada, who's 1-7, that's another winnable game. You can win 3 in a row. You're 5-5, and you're looking at a bowl again. And you're in a conference that's just kind of except for the top few teams. I was on San Jose State coming into the year. Don't feel too good about the futures, but I do think they can take down Hawaii at home. And it's being priced that way. When you see a 6-2 team as an underdog to a 2-5 team, everybody's going to run to bet those teams. We talk about these public spots a lot on these shows, and it's a serious thing, especially in college, because not enough people dive into numbers in college and do any of that. They just want to bet, oh my gosh, I've seen Hawaii win all these games this year, and now I'm getting plus money on it. Why would I not take it?
This looks like a busted line.
Exactly. And this is the time of year, November, late October, early November, where we start to see some of these teams really show what they are after the red hot starts. And I think that happens with Hawaii tomorrow.
Excellent. Fourth down. For me, it's going to be a 4th and long, kind of a cheating 4th and long, but I've been having success in these markets, and I like this play a lot. We're going to take Tucker Kraft, longest reception over 21.5, minus 110, so I'm fine with the way that's priced. Look, he's facing the Panthers. We've been, Ben and I, banging on tight ends when they face the Bengals and the Panthers all year long. The Panthers are allowing a passer rating of 129.4 for the season against tight ends. 77.2% completions. Over 9 yards per attempt. Kraft for the season, 15.6 yards per reception. Look, I don't like to do a lot with this Packers offense because Jordan Love's one of those guys who sprays the ball around. Anybody can be the hero. He doesn't really play favorites. They don't run it through anybody. But all we need is one reception here to go for 22 yards. It's been happening. It's happened 3 straight games. These two are in form. He's coming off a monster game. He's such a big target. The Steelers played the Steelers last week. Carolina doesn't really have a linebacker who can run with him. I think they're going to be able to hit him on seams and beat zone. And when things break down, he and Jordan Love see the game the same way. So that number I'm comfortable with. That value I'm comfortable with. And this has been happening routinely from tight ends against the Panthers. So Kraft over 21.5 yards, longest reception -110 for the Spotifyers and the Apple Bottoms. Where are you on fourth down, Beltway, man?
Yes, fourth down here. We're going to go fourth and short. And I'm going to take us to that Navy game that I mentioned earlier. And we're going to go with North Texas first half over 19.5 at -112. Now, when you look at Navy's recent games, they haven't allowed their opponents over it, but their defense has not finished games well, and teams have flirted with it. FAU did not score, and they had the ball inside the 25 twice in those spots. They score another touchdown, they clear this number. Temple, they end up scoring 31 in the game. They were in the goal line doing a lot of things, end up holding them to some field goals, those different things. North Texas's offense and their passing attack is nothing that Navy has seen yet this season. And there's a lot of hype around Navy. I get it.
Yeah.
Their run game can take some clock and eat clock, whatever. I think they're going to have some big hitters, and they're not long possessions right down the field to score North Texas, to which this passing offense responds. We've seen it a lot. The head coach is a high offensive-minded guy, and we've seen it all year with them. Now you're going to give me Navy, and this is a pretty hype game. Both of these teams really need this win and are looking to come through, because when you look around the conference, USF, how good they've played, these two teams are battling for that other spot. I do think North Texas comes out high-powered. They are the favorite in this game. They should have no issue scoring on a Navy defense, who, as I said before, is not very good. They're, especially against high-powered offenses, they're able to shut down some of the more quiet, slower offenses. North Texas moves the ball way too fast. They're going to keep Navy kind of off-tempo and really screw them around. So I do like North Texas first half team total over 19.5 points.
Love it. All right, I got a lot going on here in overtime, so just bear with me here. I don't know what the best way to do this is, but I'll just go through each one.
Yeah, just go through each one.
Yeah. So first overtime. Colts money line. Colts to score at least 25 points. Jonathan Taylor anytime touchdown. Plus 135. Okay, Colts are playing the Steelers. I think the Colts are legitimate. I don't think these wins are fugazi, and I don't think they're a team that's just built to win in a dome. They can beat you throwing the ball. They can beat you passing the ball. Daniel Jones has all the infrastructure around him to be a highly functional quarterback. This is a Colts team that's averaging 34 points a game. This is a Colts team that's winning on average by 14.5 points per game. This is a Steelers team that has a defense that by their standards is historically bad. You can go back over a 16-game sample size, going back to last season. The Steelers average allowing 25 points per game. 9 times in their last 16 games, they've given up 27 or more. 7 times in their last 16 games, they've given up 29 or more. Like, they're allowing 386 yards per game. Indianapolis is producing 385. I just think this is a bad matchup. Pittsburgh's long in the tooth defensively. They're not getting pass rush out of Watt. They're not getting run stuffing out of Cam Hayward. Patrick Queen is getting run over at the second level. And they're on the hunt for more safeties because they keep getting hurt and they keep having to trade for them. And corners because, well, look, they're going to have to play more press man in this game. Like they've got press man corners and they're playing too much zone. Even if they change that, I don't like these matchups here. And I think Warren, the tight end, will go off as well. So we've got another play here. Daniel Jones, 220 or more passing yards. Colts over 27.5. Again, they're averaging 34. Warren, at least 50 yards receiving. That's plus 175. Like, Warren has been going over this with regularity. The Steelers are having difficulty covering anybody, and especially his body type. I just don't see the match there. Like, are they going to try Jalen Ramsey on him? Like, Daniel Jones will play pitch and catch with him every game. Jones is thrown for at least 212 in every game. I don't think this is going to be a total blowout to the point where they're just running Jonathan Taylor. I mean, again, the yardage is phenomenal. Pittman's going off. They've got 3 receivers you have to worry about and the tight end. So against arguably the worst defense in the NFL, and yeah, it's outdoors, and yeah, it's in Pittsburgh. And look, I understand what Tomlin has done in these spots, right? 15-5-1 against the spread his last 21 times as a home dog. I don't need the Colts to cover. I just need them to win. We also like Jonathan Taylor to score 2 or more touchdowns in this game at plus 210. Like, this is what's been going on with him lately. 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, 1 touchdown, 3 touchdowns, no touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. Pittsburgh is giving up a lot of offensive touchdowns per game. When they get inside the goal-to-go situations, Daniel Jones, like, could he run it? Sure. Has he been running it? Not so much. They seem to be getting off on Taylor finishing drives for them, and I am buying into that. Okay. First, second, third, fourth overtime. You knew we were getting back on Bayern Munich before they play Leverkusen, right? You know we're getting back on Hot Trick Harry Kane. We're back in die Bundesliga. This is not the Pokal. This is the Bundesliga, baby. This is for all the marbles. Look, Bayern got pushed a little bit more midweek by Cologne than I would like. They didn't get pushed as much as Leverkusen, though, who had to go to extra time against a far lesser side and had to travel farther to do it. Kane did not score in his last Bundesliga game. He did come back and score midweek in the Pokal. He could have had 3. He's been scoring 2 with regularity, over 12 goals in the Bundesliga already. This is not a great Leverkusen side. Maybe they're a little better than some thought they would be, but they're not the caliber of Man U. I think this is a statement game for Man U. Man U's back at home. The goals have been pouring in the Allianz Arena. So we like Harry Kane, 2+ goals at plus 210. And 5th overtime, we got a half-unit play. We got a choppy on hat trick Harry Kane, 2 goals. Jonathan Taylor, 2 touchdowns, plus 814 Beltway Ben.
Genuine question. Is that the most we've done? 5 overtimes? I know I've put together
Yes.
a few NBA parlays
I think it's a
before.
record.
That has to
I think
be
it's a record.
And it
gotta
comes
be a
at midnight.
record.
It comes
People
at
stay
midnight.
up till midnight. They get
Right.
quintuple overtime. It's like college football. It's like
Yeah.
the old college football rules.
You're 100% right. That is very true. I was sitting here thinking, I'm like, I've put together like 4 NBA parlays, but I didn't know if I had gotten to 5 before. I am going to try to top you at some point in the next few weeks because
Yes,
I've been
let's
playing
just
with a
keep
lot of NBA things.
ratcheting it up.
100%.
The people
but I
demand it that way,
Oh,
especially if these hit. If the 814 hits,
100%. I am right there with
100%. I don't know about 100%.
you. No, but I have 2 parlays. I have one for college football and one in the NBA. Now, as Jason mentioned earlier, it's a little tough with the NBA because when you do the night before, you don't have as much available to you. There's still injury reports. Guys are not ruled active or not yet, so they're not giving you as many prop things. So I couldn't give out as many tonight, but we had enough to make do. Here we're going Oklahoma 100 plus rushing yards, Miami on the money line. I talked about them before, and Mississippi State versus Arkansas over 51.5. If you look at what Mississippi State has done in their games, their offense is popping, defense is up and down. And Arkansas, on the other hand, like even since they fired their coach, the defense isn't any more inspired. I'm not buying anything they have defensively, but their offense, before guys were fired, I mean, they were a top offense around the country. Now, Oklahoma rushing yards. Tennessee's defense is exciting because they force big turnovers, get takeaways, and score points. However, against the run, they are one of the worst in the SEC. But again, when you have explosive plays, when you get big takeaways, when you can score defensive points, that changes things and gets you a better look. But overall, against the run, they're not good enough. I don't know that Mateer has been as good throwing the football since returning. You want to kind of keep him a little safe still as he recovers from the wrist injury, which they're telling us he's right, and what we've seen tells us otherwise. I think they're going to keep it on the ground. They got a good 2-headed running back style going, and like I thought Jay Knott was going to be a guy there. He's not. He just hasn't been. He hasn't gotten carries in some games. Could they start to unload him as the year goes on? Maybe, but I trust what else they have in that backfield. 100 rushing yards should be no issue for them. Again, for the listeners, 100 plus rushing yards for Oklahoma, Miami on the money line, and the alternate over 51.5 in the Mississippi State Arkansas game, and then the NBA parlay. There was only a few props available, like I said, so we had to put together what we saw. Giannis 10 plus rebounds. The Magic on the money line. I really like the Magic tomorrow. I will be putting them in a bunch of different parlays because they're facing the Wizards, who are going to
Yeah.
continue to try and lose. And the Magic got off to a slow
I
start.
did put a few bucks on that over. I jumped on that over as soon as it came out because it's going to go up.
Oh yeah, 100%. And yeah, I just don't buy what the Wizards have at all. I think we have a good young core. Alex are starting to play better basketball, but they're still one top pick away, and they need to tank for that. And then KD 18 plus points. He's playing a TD guard. Like, if you don't think he's going to show up at that arena where he's gotten into it with fans before, I don't know what to tell you. We're taking that to 18. Like, I like it at 20, but we're taking it to 18 just to be a little safe because I know a few weeks or a few games ago he had the blowout and scored just 19 because he didn't have to play in the fourth. So we'll take it to 18 plus. Again, Giannis 10 plus rebounds, the Magic on the money line, and KD 18 plus points plus 119.
Excellent. All right. That's the show. Normally we put the betting slip up. We didn't have time to put it up, but like, trust me, it was not a terrible night. I'm telling you, I lost the 2 NBA plays. Neither one was particularly close. NBA Cup, I forgot just how, your mind play. Like, I remember last year, like, not liking to bet NBA Cup, but like this year, what are you going to do? Like, it's early in it starts way too soon. Like, that shouldn't start till like January or something.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, can we get into the flow of the regular season before you're throwing this shit at us already? So I lost those 2 bets. We won UNC plus 120 on the money line. And then, we sprinkled on the Ohtani stolen base for shits and giggles. It didn't hit. That was my card. Got a lot more going Saturday. Ben and I will be back either 11 a.m. or noon on Sunday. We'll let you know. We're excited to bet this weekend. Still some more football games we've not got to yet that we will give you plenty of plays on Sunday. And we thank you guys for staying up late with us and tuning in. You want to bet, we want to bet. Thank you for wanting to bet with us. We'll see you Sunday.